Nashville, Tennessee, my hometown, and all the surrounding counties, a big Nashville welcome to Mr. Jerry Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. What's up, Nashville?
The spotlights work. I see some silhouette lights and some lights fast. Any first numbers? Just kidding. Welcome to the big estimate family.
That's it.
So we're here to close out 2023. Nutty year for us for sure. Hopefully that guys can see the sound. Hopefully nobody here was affected by the crazy catastrophe that we fell here just today. So we're sending love and prayers and thoughts for the surrounding areas.
Talked about tornadoes yesterday. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's December 23.
What did you just say? Okay, alright, it's gonna be one of those shows. She's like, did you poop?
Recently? I have in my life, yes. No.
Alright, okay.
Here's a question. Here's an honest, like weird, trivia question. Do you know why they say that's bullshit? Meaning, like that's not worth anything. It's because bull manure has no nutrient value. So you can use cow manure. Come on, it's not natural. So bullshit is useless. So they're like, no, that's bullshit. Same thing. It's been fun, guys.
Last barrel at creation.
Fun facts by Jerry Padalecki.
I love you too, thank you. Suck it, Ackles.
That's, you got one.
That's not bullshit. Well,
Okay, alright, we're good.
what Jensen did? None.
What?
That was honest. I'm right next to him.
This is going off the wrist.
This is Let's get this train back on the tracks. Not gonna waste y'all's time. Let's go ahead and start over here. Howdy. Okay, I guess I'm ready.
Sorry, I wasn't ready. I didn't realize I was going to be up here. They put my name wrong in the screen.
They put your name wrong?
Yeah, my last name's wrong.
Oh.
Welcome to our world. Alright.
We're gonna get back on track, I promise.
Okay, so my question is not as finally asked this since the strike is over. If Sam Dean had to go into like the gin that they got rid of gin again, what do you think their gin drinks would be now?
Jeez. Start my clock. That's amazing.
Like after, at this point, didn't you?
Yeah, like, way couples who think doesn't really matter what season, like in the later seasons, especially after they met their mom and stuff.
I think probably the same. I think so.
Yeah, I think that's probably the go-to thing is for both. They always dreamed of this kind of slice of normalcy, and even though they know that that's not something that would have ever worked for them,
Yeah.
I think they still hold that in their kind of idea of what they missed.
Yeah, I always thought also, recently, I feel like teen, would have dreams about abandoning barns that didn't have rebar. You know that bullshit has no nutritive value to be used as manure? But that's my thought.
Neither does this answer, so it's,
What do you think?
I don't know. I think it could be the same. I think maybe, at least from my interpretation, I think it would maybe be different after they met their mom. Because I always thought that, Dean saw her in such high regard, and then when he actually met her, it sounds like it lowered, but it kind of gave him more realistic expectations of her meeting him. So,
yeah, I think that may have shed some light into what that relationship and what the history was behind that, but I still think Dean would have this wishful idea of what life could have been. Even though he knew or knows more, I think he still maybe held that as a bit of a dream. Even though he knows it would never really be like that, but still.
Thank you so much. And to give you your credit, what is your official last name for real?
my name is Nicole Momsilovic.
Hi, Nicole. God bless
Momsilovic.
Okay.
M-O-M-C-I-L-O-V-I-C.
you. Okay, well, what are the last four digits of your social security? Very nice to meet you, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's your feelings of that? Hi.
Hi, I'm Tasha. About your acting process, if you were to put somebody in front of you and tell you they were a demon and they had information you needed, can you just jump right into character, or does it take you some time?
Do I have to marry them as well? That's a different kind of gin dream. It still works. Just slower. It's been a while since I've crossed.
Thanks, Monkey. Thanks. I don't know what to say. It's that I think when he and I are on set, it's much easier to kind of flip that switch.
There's also so much, you started with saying acting process, there's a lot of prep that goes into it. So if somebody was just here and like, hey, I'm a demon, action. I'd be like, well, what am I doing? Like, do I like them? Am I using them? Are they using me? So there's so much thought that goes into it before it, that if there was a script, then if that was the first thing we filmed, then it's good. But I've already done, a couple dozen reads of the script, thought like, what does Sam feel? Where is this in the episode? Is this climactic? Like, when I killed them, or they killed me, or whatever. So there's a lot of work for that.
I feel like he and I are similar in the fact that we know a scene going into it, but we know the waypoints that we have to hit. So we know we gotta get here, we know we gotta get there, but the in-between is the stuff that he and I kind of allow to be discovered. We have ideas about how we want to get from point A to B, but the great thing with getting to work with him is it was never overly rehearsed to where he was reacting to what I was doing and I was doing the same, and so we were available for these kind of happy accidents that would happen within scenes. That being said, we knew where we needed to go, and we knew where we needed to hit in different points, and so I think like just snapping into that with the knowledge of kind of a roadmap made it much easier to kind of get into character, and then that also made it easier to kind of riff while you're in that character, to come up with maybe some improvisation, but just like sitting here on stage and being like, hey, BD. Jared's right. There's a little more prep that goes into it in order for us to kind of step into those shoes.
Yeah, sometimes the puzzle, you start with the border. Sometimes you start. His eyes.
But I'm gonna move on now.
Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of great fans and artists out there, but what are your favorite fans or artists growing up or just in general?
Pearl Jam, yeah. A long-standing fan of love relationship with Pearl Jam.
His stories are proven.
Yeah, stories to prove. Some embarrassing stories to prove. Yeah, that sticks out to me.
I grew up with a lot of different music in my house. My dad listened to a lot of like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, standards type stuff. But then he also listened to more modern classic rock. My mom listened to country music, and so I don't know. I could pick and choose dozens of bands. I'll say one. This is a band that's never gotten old to me. Some music kind of after you listen to it for so long, it's like all right, maybe you tire of it a little bit, but there's the obvious choices like the Zeppelin and the Stones, and even the Beatles, but I'll say the Allman Brothers. I still feel like I'm discovering their music, even though I've been listening to it for most of my life.
What about you?
I really like Love and Swing.
Great.
I know that. Yeah.
But they're getting older. Skinny.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
Yeah, they're amazing. Great music. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
And good music taste.
Yeah, I know.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Lynn. I'm wondering what are Dean and Sam's biggest regrets?
Funny you should ask. I didn't even, I just said something. I didn't do anything.
Why'd you say it like that?
That's how she posed the question. I think one of Sam's bigger regrets rhymes with Amelia. I mean, I'm like persona non grata all of a sudden.
What'd you call me?
It's German. Yeah, I think Sam would have felt bad about the times that he didn't go after his brother. Though I think the last time he understood that his brother was something in my life and had to give him back. Farewell. That's for me.
Dean, I mean, gosh, I don't know. I'll choose one that couldn't save Cass. It's uncanny.
It was good. Morton.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Abby. I'm going to try not to get emotional because people like that, Jensen, and Mr. Photo Op, and I can't pick it up. But my question is...
I was in there for like 5 hours.
and I didn't know that I had to take it, and I missed it. But anyway, one of my favorite episodes is Mystery Spot, especially the scene when you guys start talking at the same time. And every time I watch it, I say those lines with you guys. What was it like filming that scene?
He kept messing it up. You did!
Did I?
Yes! It was like every morning someone just wakes up and goes to go to bed, and you kept adding at the end or something. And I was like, stop it! That was the last strike. That was the way Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It was hectic, because trying to say it. That was a rough episode of film.
That was.
It was difficult.
Yeah. For well, more for you.
Yeah. Do you know what we said on the end?
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot!
No, we're doing it together.
Okay, he goes, you don't know everything, and then you guys start talking. Yeah, I do. Right, nice guess. Wasn't a guess. Right, you're a mind reader. Cut it out, Sam. Sandwiches for his makeup. Sandwiches for Christ's way through sex. Sandwiches to be full of
She's better than you are.
All right. Come here and get that picture. Where's the Jared, thank you.
I don't remember saying that at all.
Thank you, Abby. Where do you want to come?
I do remember getting very frustrated in that. Because there was a word that was being added and I couldn't, I don't know, it was stuck in there. And yeah, I think there's probably a good amount of outtakes from that moment.
It's a great scene. Thank you so much.
Sandwiches, where's makeup? So stupid.
It's true.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's true.
The rest of it, I don't know.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Marianne. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I don't know if the Browns won today.
Probably not. They did? Did the other team not show?
No, they won the first draft pick for next year. By losing. So, Jesus.
All right, this is my first convention, so, you want to make me keep coming back.
Okay, Browns forever.
So, you guys is like watching the foot down to your wives, so you go to your first choice. But if you had a second choice, what actors would you pick to act with, and would you do it in a TV or a movie? I was trying to come up with original.
No, that's a great question. You mean to play the roles that they played last time?
Yeah, just who would you pick?
That we have not worked with?
You could have worked with them, but like I said, I know you're watching the first pick, so who would be that second?
To play that role that was. Is there a leading lady out there that we would look for?
And I love your voice, so you can pick something from your voice. I know you can do your white voice too.
Where you know he does.
What you saying?
Some sister does wear makeup.
I don't know.
Some of the actresses on Baker.
Jason Baker?
Yeah, that show. Those are.
Oh, those are.
Some of the actresses on those are so raw and real that I would love to work with them. It just feels like gritty. I don't know the names on that.
Julie Garner, she's great.
Julie Garner.
Yeah.
Yes. She's great. I'll go with her.
Gosh, I mean, I like to, I'm always interested in working with people that I think I can learn from. Because that's, we talked about this earlier, that Jared and I, we were never formally trained in acting. We go to school, we coach, there's no techniques, there's no methods that we just kind of go off with instinct, and we learned on the job. So a lot of what I know I learned early on, and I'm sure what you learned early on, was from watching those that were successful that we got to work with. That being said, as long as our careers have been up to this point, there's always more you can learn, and there's always people out there that you can learn from. So I would want to work with somebody that I just think is a crazy talent. Somebody like Meryl Streep or Julia Roberts or some Kate Winslet. These just incredibly talented artists that I think would hopefully elevate my game. So, yeah.
I'd also like to say, it also misspelled my name, but I don't blame it because my handwriting sucks.
So what is her actual name?
Bisky. It's German.
God bless you.
But we gotta mispronounce this one all the time. The worst word, bitch.
But some days it might be that, right? There you go. Do it.
Fair enough.
So my question was, it's kind of a three-parter. What?
Free photo?
I
I mean,
What are you, 12?
if
What is your favorite role from your early acting days that you like the most or recommend? / which one did you get the most grief for when you did it?
Alec from Dark Angel was probably one I spent a little time with, and the one that I probably wouldn't mind erasing is Devour. But to be fair, that movie was being written while we were filming, rewritten while we were filming it. I'm like, I don't even know how this story ends. We were shooting.
That goes back to the other question about like the process.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
know what you're doing.
yeah, that was a bit of a mess up.
This is going to be kind of an agglomeration of your earlier questions and answers. I will say that one of my favorite roles was Gilmore Girls. But I wish I knew then what I know now. I was a nervous kid. You know, I was 17 when I shot the first 2 episodes, and I was used to doing like plays at school, and so I think I kind of came in a little theatrical, didn't really know the technique of it, and I grew along the way. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a great learning experience over 5 years that I worked on. And so everybody starts somewhere, and I kind of started there, and there's some scenes that are certainly, I went back and watched some of them, but trying to remember what Team Force was like, before that day, like Year in the Life, the Netflix reunion series or whatever. And I watched it and I was like, oh, this is a good show. Oh, I suck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all are great liars. Thank you.
They're not disagreeing with you. They're just saying you were adorable while you were sucking so hard.
You got so much better. But that was a fun time. Thank you, Bishop. Don Bishop.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
My friends somewhere.
So we were wondering, in French Mistakes, since Sam and Dean were in your R universe, where were you two during that time period?
Oh, wow. Jensen really wants to answer this question. Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting. I would imagine that had the writers been asked this question, they might have had an answer that sounded something like when Sam and Dean entered into that universe, dimension, whatever, that at the same time, the Jensen and Jared that were supposed to be there were sent somewhere else in order to make space for these two duels, and so that they wouldn't, destroy the space-time continuum.
I was going to say the same thing.
There you go.
Thank you, Phoebe. My brain hurts. Thank you.
What happened? I blacked out.
Hi, it's my first con and I have been so incredibly lucky to talk with you guys. My friend had a question, so I'm asking it on her behalf.
Is your friend somewhere?
Yeah, she's right now.
At least she knows, Phoebe. She
She actually has never watched an episode of Supernatural. She's just here to help me out this weekend. But George, she wants to know, did you get your knee surgery?
I did not. I did a lot of physical therapy.
Oh, good.
It's still kind of wonky, but I'm feeling good. I'm ready to shoot on Thursday. It's all good.
Good. Look good, man.
Look good.
Look good. Hi there.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Sorry, I'm nervous. I didn't think of my questions.
She just called you old.
You too, idiot.
No, we were in different generations.
No.
Are we?
We were together in a different generation, you old man.
Fair, true. So what are the other options? So brothers. Brothers, different generations, or
Those are really the only two things.
okay, got it. Brothers. I think the fact that they were brothers is really what made them kind of behave the way they did with each other and with others. And, there was something great about, and I don't know, but Supernatural, the relationship between Sam and Dean, nothing was off limits. I mean, there were times when they would keep secrets from each other and find out later, but otherwise, it was one of those, you hear stuff like, you always hurt the ones you love. It's like you can be yourself with somebody who knows you and they understand, like, oh, they're going through a tough time, or they're angry, or they're simmer down, and then we'll address this later. So I think the fact that Sam and Dean could ultimately bounce anything off each other is what really helped them develop the relationship.
I think he's right. I think it's the brothers. It's the fact that they were brothers, and I'll say not the generation thing or not the time, because I kind of feel like you could take those two brothers and put them in any generation or any time, and there would be a similar story. It just might look a little different, but it would still be very, very similar. And I think that that's one of the things that we all like about that show is that it is kind of timeless. That story of two brothers not just fighting the good fight, but fighting for each other is a beautiful story. So it could be told at any time. I mean, you can take it back to the medieval times. You can move into the future, and I still think it would ring the same that it did when it did happen. So,
Thank you.
thanks, Jordan.
First, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all that you do and being the light that you are, especially for my daughter who got me into the show. So my question is, if the two of you together were writers, directors, whatever, on your own, what show would you guys come up with together? And would it still be Supernatural? Would it be something different? Would you do a comedy?
He and I.
Yes. You have the power to create a whole new show.
Well, I think, thank you, and thank your daughter, wherever you are, being on the show. I think, for sure, I cannot wait to get our heads together and talk about seeing Sam Dean again.
That's not promising.
And then I also think it would be fun to be a comedy.
But like the Nice Guys, remember that movie? Like doing something like that, I think would be, there's no Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
Did you put balls on my drum set?
That sounds like something Dean might do. I think that the dynamic that he and I got to establish over those 15 years, I think you could put that in a lot of different scenarios. So I think as long as if we have that, then yeah, we can do whatever.
Well, I'm hoping when it starts, but I'm hoping to have a week or two to leave town and play Soldier Man. No, thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye. I am Emily.
Welcome.
What's your favorite moment with your family this year?
Favorite moment with our families this year?
I'll start. So, I mean, so many. But we, Jen and the kids and I went to Australia for the holidays. I actually went from Nashville this time last year to Australia and then went to Tasmania and visited buddy out there. And we ended up like VRBOing the house and we saw the Sydney fireworks and like from the balcony of this place we rented. And it was just a fun moment to see how happy the kids were. I think most of the time it's seeing the kids play, and that's something he and I get to do as our job, which is a legit job. We're going to talk about preparation and work and sacrifice and this and that, but when they call actions, they get to play, and that's a lot of fun. And so seeing the kids play and not forget about their worries, you know, whether they may be bullied in school or whatever, it's a lot of fun. So I think watching fireworks with the kiddos and Sydney was pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a lot. And we had, we got given the gift of time off this year. It was an unfortunate reason because of the strike, but that certainly gave us some time, a lot of time to spend with family. I'll say we took trips and all of those are very memorable. But I'll say one thing that when I close my eyes, what I see, and that's when the kids come home from school, when I get to go pick them up from school, and I get to ask them about their day, and that little drive home. But when they get home, they go straight out the back door and to the play set, a trampoline, and watching them sprint out there, and the dog chasing them, and I just kind of sit down on the back porch and just watch them play, and that's what I see when I close my eyes. He's not prepared ever, so
Welcome to my world.
I'm Arabella. My question is for Jensen, so I'm here.
Next.
Jensen, do you plan on doing another live radio information like Jensen?
Good question. I was just talking about this with somebody backstage. No hard plans to, but it's definitely being discussed. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn. What are your favorite episodes of Supernatural?
To film?
In hindsight or at the time? I mean, because I look back and, like, French Mistake, looking back now, I love it, but I was so anxious the entire time, so nervous, that I didn't have a great time filming it, but in hindsight, I love the memory of having filmed it. Does that make any sense? That's not weird. I was nervous. I had it funny, and there's a lock and key, and Nutcracker were like fitting me for jock straps and stuff. And I was like, this sucks. Like, who thinks this is funny?
Changing channels.
And I had like 30 commercials and shit. I was like, I don't like this very much. But I did riding the motorcycles around and flying around. And, like, in hindsight, it was amazing. But during the filming of it, I was like, this might be the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. And then Strange, like Sacrifice, the end of season 8, was awful to film, but I love that I got to experience it. You know, like it was 3 days in an abandoned church with Mark Shepard, where we're all singing love love too. I love them. It wasn't enjoyable during. It was always enjoyable. It was not being a bitch, but it was stressful during it. But those were the 2 episodes that just came to mind. But like like that, like episode 23 of the bottom. What was it? Swan Song. The end was Swan Song. The finale of season 5 was amazing in my head now, but during it I hated it. I was like, I'm killing my brother, I'm killing myself. What's going on?
I was going to say that one of them would be the end, and I think it's a similar thing. It's because it was such a challenge to shoot those particular episodes that it was very taxing during shooting that particular episode for me, because I was playing 2 versions of Dean. But it's one that I look back on with great pride because of how challenging it was. I'll say that, you guys might not like this, that one of my favorite episodes to film was the very last episode. I'll tell you why. It's because we've gotten to a point where he and I can truly reflect and appreciate the magnitude of the moment that was happening in front of us. When I got into that car and I drove it, and he was driving in heaven, I knew that was going to be the final drive for this run of the show. And I think I have video. I set my phone up in the seat and recorded me doing that final drive. And then he and I on the bridge, there were moments that he and I took, multiple moments that he and I took to ourselves without the cameras rolling. And so I think that was precious for me, and that meant so much because of the journey we had gone on and where we did that together. So that's. But if you're just like, what was fun? Yellow Fever was fun.
I agree 100%. It occurred to me while we were talking about it. I think the only episode that I really feel like I just had fun during was Baby. Because it wasn't the Sam and Dean show. It was the Baby show. And so it was like we had to go have some fun on somebody else's set.
It's also the most kind of unique process of filming an episode, is because they just mounted cameras to the car and then just sent us out into the wild. And just fingers crossed, I hope these 2 knuckleheads can get the scene.
Yeah,
and it was up to us.
The first time in a decade and a half where we weren't going on the set of a show about Sam and Dean Winchester, like this episode was about me. So we had to go and just help beat Flex in the wheel. It wasn't like, it felt like less pressure, even though we were in the entire episode, obviously.
We really, that's a great answer, Baby. One of my favorite episodes too. For the Rocky Johnson special. Yeah.
I'm Kevin from New Orleans.
Who dat?
You played a different Sam and Dean from Parallel Universe in season 15. How do you think it went for them in Rio? What do you think happened to them?
Wait for season 16 to find out. I will say this. I have that purple suit. What is it? There was no reason for it to ever get used in any TV show. And luckily, when like a piece of clothing gets made for Jared Padalecki, it'll never fit anybody else. So they're like, listen, we're never going to use this again. It won't fit.
I think I have that suede jacket. I do. I know why, because they bought it and it was so expensive they couldn't get it double, so it never got used. It was just hanging in the closet, and they were like, oh wait, you can use this because you don't have to do stunts. And I was like, perfect. And then it came home with me.
They're having a good time at Cornwall down in Rio. And you'll see. Hi.
Hi. Is there a family tradition for Christmas that you 2 are just really looking forward to doing?
We, because my wife is from Louisiana, and her and her mother, they finalists usually will spend the holidays with us. We do a gumbo party, a holiday gumbo party, and my wife and her mom, they spend like all day making the gumbo. I mean, it's it's a prop. For those that know, like just making the roux is a very specific thing to do. So that's a little piece of Canadian culture that we celebrate at Christmas, and it's a favorite amongst family and friends. Our annual gumbo party. You've been a part of a couple of those.
We have tamales on Christmas Day, and smokies, which I don't know, like I think the little hot dog things, katsawinis. I beg your pardon. Thank you, I got one. Let's talk more about tamales. It's more of the food, and it's the midday nap after. So these days, as parents, legitimately, my Christmas, it kind of is consisting of me just getting all the wrapping paper and boxes from all the presents the kids are opening and trying to get rid of it, but like put it outside because it's everywhere. But then we always have like a late breakfast and sit down and watch TV, also do movies, Home Alone, Love Actually.
Although Love Actually is not a movie you want to put on when the kids are in the room. There's one particular storyline that's not for children.
She's working, I legitimately have to remember she's one of like the hot sisters or whatever. Does the elf come to your house? Yes, elf's been moving around. Yep.
Yeah, that's stressful. I've had some bad mornings, man. That elf can ruin a morning for me. Very quickly.
Yeah. Ours is so stressful. Moving around, making potato chips. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Lise. I'm from Texas, or I guess not from Texas. I live in Texas now. Anyways. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So, what color lightsaber would y'all wield and why?
Green. Because everybody would envy it.
I want a double-bladed lightsaber. Yeah, but one green, one red.
In Christmas?
Yes, because I love Christmas. I'd be Darth Christmas. Yes. What about you? What was your?
Magenta. It's different than purple.
Yes?
Yes.
I don't know if that was a question or.
It's non-canon. It's in the Legends trilogy. So, yeah.
Love it. Amazing. Thank you, Elise.
Glad we ironed that out.
He wouldn't get me because this is green. That's well done. Thanks, Elise. Hi.
Hi, I'm Emily. I was wondering, like, when y'all were filming, besides friends and family, what was something that you missed?
A life.
Existence, everything. It's it's really funny. Oh my gosh. Again, almost like your other question about which episode was the most fun to film. During shooting, it's not even like you miss things yet. You know you're missing things. You're missing events. You're missing birthday parties. You're missing graduations. You're missing weddings, et cetera, et cetera. You miss your family, obviously. But during it, it's just kind of like it's a different mode you go into. It's like, well, I can't. My friends call me. The answer is no. I just can't. And even on the day off, I have 8 pages of song, so I have to work on it. So I'm sorry, I love you. Answer is no. And you kind of find out who your real friends are because they get it. And like, I know you love me, I love you too, but I know you're busy for the next 8 months, you know? And once you kind of wade above water and catch your breath, then you get together with them. Yeah, but I think a lot of things that
Who wouldn't trade it?
I wouldn't trade it.
Wouldn't trade it.
I think a lot of the stuff that we missed would have been fun. Would have been fun to go to this gala, to this party, to this
guy's trip, you know. I miss like I've buddies that do like an annual like golf trip.
Yeah.
I would love. I mean, I've only done like 2, and then probably done a dozen. And but I was just never available, and they got it. They were like, yeah, you're right. But it's also like I wouldn't change it. I took pride in what I was doing in order to miss it.
Yeah, and the videos that he got during their golf trip are going to last a lot longer than the videos of their golf trip. We all get to watch them because they're supposed to print. So, yeah, thank you. Of course.
Hi, I'm from Georgia. Hello. And my question is, in Supernatural, are there any storylines or parallels in the show that you wish had been expanded upon or explored in general? I have an example of you.
Sure. What's the example?
Like, the show never really explored like how Sam and Dean felt. Like when Sam was supposed to whisper at the end of season 5, he jumps into the cage and Dean is like, it's against every instinct I have, but you need to do this to save the world. And then in season 14, Dean wants to lock himself in the mallet box possessed by Michael, and he's like, I need to do this to save the world, and Sam is against it. But they never explored that in the show. They just kind of left it.
Sounds like a cool show. What is it?
You should know it. You were on it for 15 years.
What?
What?
2 great examples. I'll say this. I'll say for my character in this. I wish we saw more Michael Dean. And I wish we saw more Eileen.
Me too.
Eddie. I thought that Purgatory probably could have lasted a little longer than it did. I just thought it was a really cool concept and stuff, but you know, the writers are like, now we gotta get the brothers back together, and I get it. It was, I probably, had it gone on a few more episodes, I probably would have been like, okay, can we wrap this up? Because, you know, this is, so.
And by the way, another example about what we're talking about. Purgatory was filmed at a place that is probably the reality equivalent of Purgatory, like 100 people. It's like an hour drive from the apartment. It's mud and muck and crap, and there's no, just like you're not going and calling your wife and friends because there's no service out there. It's shitty, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark, and so it's like legitimately, it's perfect for Purgatory.
Yeah, it was.
But again, probably not fun to go film there. But in hindsight, it's like, man, I wish I'd been able to film there more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth, and my question is, I know that y'all seem extremely close, and I know y'all play jokes on each other because DJ was talking about a jar of mayonnaise and Jared Zipper being 2 miles long and some combinations. Just not saying I was just what is the best time y'all have like best prank that you remember for each other?
I think it's more than a specific prank. He and I really realized that it was just going to continue to escalate. And there was even like an episode of Supernatural about like, it's just going to escalate. Let's not start. It's just going to escalate. But we would consistently, he's hard to break. Jim Beaver's impossible to break. He's hard to break between action and cut. And there was one time where it was during one of the Gabriel episodes when we were at the middle-aged bunker, and the line of dialogue I had to say was kind of a bit of a tongue twister. And so I messed it up. I was like, I'll go back. And so it made it to the Gabriel. I was like, I love it. Because I ended up purposely, it's over my shoulder onto him, and I just say, Gabriel, no, we have to, we should have done that. And you can see his face, he's like, so it's more like within a scene, just trying to cut the tension. Not that there's tension, but it's just a slog. You know, you're 14 hours, 16 hours, you're tired. Like, hey, let's just laugh. It's gonna take 30 seconds out of our day. Let's laugh, and then it's like having a cup of coffee or something. Like, provides an energy for another hour.
It was largely impromptu messing with each other. There weren't any like, you know, George Clooney style pranks where it was, you know, very long and drawn out and thoughtful. And, you know, he and I would just, if the opportunity presented itself to mess with each other, we would generally do it. But it was also just trying to, you know, make each other laugh.
And also make the crew laugh.
Oh yeah. Like we were all laughing. But I will say, again, to reiterate what you were saying, we very quickly realized that we were much more effective joining forces against people like Misha and Art and our crew, and highly effective.
Like messing with Misha and Ackles.
Oh, so easy. Like Misha's the easiest to break. I mean, that guy has just a glass jaw. And Alex too. So the pranks weren't really pranks. It was more of just like really just messing with each other, having a good time, making each other laugh. And there were countless guest stars that would come onto our set and just be like, "This is the most unprofessional, fun set I've ever been a part of." And that was one thing that that was important to us, is that when we were at work, we got the work done, clearly. We always got the work done, but we sure as hell had a fun time getting it.
Okay, for those that don't know, this is what they do. This is called the last question. It's the last question. And Ron sings this dumb song. It's the last question. It's the very last question. No, I don't know. It's the last question. Yeah, you begin. It's the last question. Ron, I don't know what you're trying to say. I'll help you. It's the last question.
Say hi to Jennifer. Jennifer, where are you from?
Baltimore.
Not a real place. Welcome from Baltimore. You are our last question, so look at some of your Eskimo family. I know it's kind of strange, but it's good to see. Pretty cool. You are the last question, so we'll bring you on stage and you say whatever. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. That's Jensen.
How you doing?
My question is, I've never been to Austin, and I'd like to visit. I'm not on the bucket list.
Baltimore's not on my bucket list either.
What would you recommend for people doing in Austin to see or visit other than family business?
Well, family business for sure. Depending on what time of year you are there. So if you're there between March and November, then I would recommend staying in your hotel room with air conditioning on. It's great. Netflix has a lot of stuff.
Including Supernatural.
But honestly, otherwise I would say if you can make it out there for one of the festivals like Austin Limits, that's open bar, or South by Southwest, which is about a week and a half long in March. Being out and about, I think part of the reason I love Austin, I think a lot of people love Austin, is the feeling that people have. Like it does get warm, so people just move slower. It's kind of just, hey man, you know, it just feels like a group of friends. So I would say I'm kind of a sporting event for a concert. If T-Swift comes back through, Eras Tour.
T-Swift? What? T-Swift? That's so specific to Austin.
So specific, yeah, to the culture that is. Let me help you out. What do you want to do? take a nice, maybe fall evening, and late in the afternoon, take a nice walk around Town Lake, or also known as Lake Bird Lake. And then end yourself up on the Congress Street Bridge and watch the bats. It's an incredible sight. How many millions is it? Yeah, 2 million, right? 2 million. 2 million bats fly out at dusk every night, and it's like this cloud, this black cloud of bats. It's pretty amazing. They all live under the bridge right there in downtown. And then maybe keep walking over to Barton Springs, walk down Barton Springs, take a seat at Terry Black's, get you some barbecue. And then maybe that evening go to a show in the movie theater. There you go.
And if there's time left, I have his address, so just DM me.
Bye. You probably have some gumbo.
I know where he keeps his food. Jennifer from Baltimore, thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Thank you.
If there's no more questions, let's really drive it. There we go.
He always says things like, that was the last question, that was it. One of these like, Jared's answer was dumb. Well, I didn't think so.
Listen, this guy had an opinion, and he sang it. I'm just going to say that's how it happened. Ladies and gentlemen.
Like a freight train running through a dirt field.
I just like you guys in the middle of it. You're like, screaming by. You may not know this, fellas, but we're in my hometown. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. You never told anybody. I just didn't really kind of keep that secret.
Yeah, I don't want to